A billionaire. When a guy with a B in his net worth speaks, you bet it's a TED Talk worth tuning into. But this isn't TED. It's way cooler than that. Here's a mic drop moment. Chamath says if he were rebooting his success story, he'd zero in on content creation. Yeah, that's right. He ditched the venture capital handshakes for a creator studio. And why? Because, my friends, in this Game of Thrones we call the internet, wears the crown when they create content. I'm gonna give you the one piece of advice that Chamath said that allowed me to build an 8-figure business at the end. So keep watching. It's not just about being king. It's about being the whole royal family of your niche. Google and Apple, they built the kingdom. Facebook and TikTok, they drew the maps. But now it's showtime for the jesters and the jugglers, the content creators like Mr. Beast, who's turning the internet into his personal circus, attracting millions, actually hundreds of millions. But here's the kicker. It's not about just stacking views like pancakes. It's about stacking value, big value. Chamath's 3 waves isn't just a theory. It's the secret recipe for a $1 trillion feast, and you're all invited to the table. So what's our move at Viral Growth Media? We're the grandmasters of the game, the chess players amidst a field of checkers. We've cooked up the value creator thesis, our blueprint for baiting the hook to catch the whales of the web. And that's why we're all in on content. Not just to make a splash, but to start a wave, a tidal wave of lasting value that drenches every doubt with success. Stick around, subscribe, and smash that like button like it's your business's breakthrough, because when you play the content game with Viral Growth Media, you play to win. So how can you think like a billionaire and move up the ranks in the content game? P.S. The life advice he gave me was go all in on content creation.
First of all, let me give you a backdrop. I wouldn't actually build a social media company at all. And the answer is, the reasoning is the following. I really tend to believe, as you've probably gotten a sense of sort of patterns and probabilities. And if you said to me, Chamath, probabilistically answer where are we going in apps and social experiences, what I would say is, Lex, we spent the first decade building platforms and getting them to scale. And if you want to think about it, again, back to sort of this poker analogy, others' mistakes minus your mistakes is the value. Well, the value that was captured was trillions of dollars, essentially to Apple and to Google. And they did that by basically attracting billions of monthly active users to their platform. Then this next wave were the apps. Facebook, QQ, Tencent, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, that whole panoply of apps. And interestingly, they were in many ways an atomized version of the platforms, right? They sat on top of them. They were an ecosystem participant, but the value they created was the same. Trillions of dollars of enterprise value, billions of monthly active users. Mm-hmm. Well, there's an interesting phenomenon that's kind of hiding in plain sight, which is that the next most obvious atomic unit are content creators. Now, let me give you 2 examples. Lex Friedman, this random crazy guy, Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson, just the 2 of you alone, add it up, okay? And you guys are going to approach in the next 5 years 1 billion people. The only thing that you guys haven't figured out yet is how to capture trillions of dollars of value. Now, maybe you don't want to, and maybe that's not your stated mission.
Yeah, right. But let's just look at Mr. Beast alone, because he is trying to do exactly that, probably.
Yeah, and I think Jimmy is going to build an enormous business. But if you take Jimmy and all of the other content creators, right, you guys are atomizing what the apps have done. You're providing your own curated news feeds. You're providing your own curated communities. You let people move in and out of these things in a very lightweight way, and value is accruing to you. So the honest answer to your question is I would focus on the content creator side of things, because I believe that's where the puck is going. That's a much more important shift in how we all consume information and content and are entertained. It's through brands like you, individual people that we can humanize and understand are the filter.
But aren't you just arguing against the point you made earlier, which is what you would recommend is the invest in the AGI, the depersonalization?
Because they could still be a participant in that end state. If that happens, you have the option value of being an enabler of that, right? You can help improve what they do. Again, you can be this bare metal service provider where you can be a tax.
Yeah.
Right? You can participate in everything that you do, every question that's asked, every comment that's curated. If you could have more intelligence as you provide a service to your fans and your audience, you would probably pay a small percentage of that revenue. I suspect all content creators would. And so it's that stack of services that is like a smart human being. It's like, how do you help produce this information? You would pay a producer for that. I mean, maybe you would, but so back to your question. So what would I do? I think that you have to move into that world pretty aggressively. I think that right now you first have to solve what is broken inside of these social networks. And I don't think it's a technical problem. So just to put it out there, I don't think it's it's one where there are these nefarious organizations. That happens. Brigading XYZ, that happens.
Focus in on the businesses that need your help the most and transform them. Build in more enterprise value inside of these organizations that already have product market fit and take them to the next level. I'll see you guys in the next video.